Hello, my name is Anthony. I'm really excited about creating this video. I'm really happy for you to be here on this channel, and I hope I can provide you with some interesting new knowledge. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do and enjoy the video. Let's talk about how we can create assets so we can live off them and create a wealthy life. So how do we create assets? First of all, it's really important to understand how assets work and what is an asset concerning to a liability. Now, an asset is something that puts money in your pockets every month, every year. Liability is something that takes money out of your pockets. It's been described in the book Rich Dad Poor Dad from Robert Kiyosaki. I'll put a link down below as well if you want to read that book. Now, an assets. Why is it important to create assets? Let's say most people don't create assets, they're just working for a normal paycheck. What's the difference is they put some time, they trade off some time in order to get some money. Now, if you change your mindset and you want to create assets, and you put your time to create a system, an asset, that puts money in your pocket, whether you're there or not, because once you created that certain assets, it's there, it's timeless, and it will produce money for you every month. Like this video, for example, it's just one video asset that is an example of a bigger whole structure. Now, in everything you do, you will find that if you're not consistent in what you do, or you're not persistent in what you do, you will eventually always not succeed. So there's always a hard work in order to get to that certain assets. Now, different examples of assets are real estate, the one we're most common to know. If you have a certain apartment that you rent out and it generates you income, it's an asset after you paid all your expenses, of course, including the expenses for the tenant, the insurance, and also the mortgage, which is very important. If you keep a certain cash flow over, certain money at the end of the month, after you paid all your expenses, then you can call that piece of real estate an asset. However, if you live in the same house and you call your own house an asset, I understand why you do that. Before I read Rich Dad Poor Dad, I had the same thought about it. However, now I understand that the assets I was talking, let's say your own home, it's a sort of capital gain. The good thing about it is you save money in a way each month to pay your own mortgage off. And at the end of 10, 15, 20 years, 30 years, the house is yours. Now, why is it called a liability? It's because every month you're putting money out of your own pockets and you pay that mortgage off. It might sometimes be better than a rent. That's really your own mindsets. That's something I'm not going to discuss right now. Now, what are different assets? Because first of all, we have real estate, but we also have a video. So first of all, we have real estate. Secondly, we have video marketing. Just like recording a video right now, today most of the iPhones, most of the phones we have a camera, we have a micro, and we are able to make a video out of it. If you share timeless information, something that people are looking for, you may be able to create a certain asset. Once you created your video and it's live and you put it on a platform like YouTube, for example, it's there eternally. Let's say eternally, as long as time is there. And we are actually using the law of time in our advantage. Because for once, while we are sleeping, while we're doing something else, while we're focusing on a new project, a new asset creation, well, the assets we already built will generate some cash flow. And it's really important in order to reach a certain state that you make a plan for, let's say 90 days, 180 days, to create all different assets. And you have to produce. If you're not acting, well, guess what? Just like the late Earl Nightingale told us, if you want to reach outstanding results, you'll have to have an outstanding attitude, and that's what I want to share with you. So, first of all, let's go over it again. Assets, real estate, that's something it's out of your league. A very cheap way, it's video marketing. Even a cheaper way is to buy a chicken that lays eggs every day. It's one of my dreams to have my own chickens, and I will realize that dream. It's something in my head, it's the basic of wealth creation. You buy a chicken, you feed the chicken, because you always first have to give in order to get something back. You first have to put the wood in order to get the heat. And it's an important mindset we talk about. So, if you have a chicken and you feed it on a regular basis, it mostly can feed itself as well. You will have one egg, let's say every day, every second day. Now, if you have 5 chickens, you will have 5 times 1 or 2 eggs every single day. And that's really important. So the more you grow your mass, the better the return. I once read a book, it was The Rhinoceros Success, I believe. And they talk about cows and rhinoceroses. A rhinoceros is somebody who's really, really true. And a cow, well, he waits and watches and sees. And it's your choice to do whatever you want. Now, something else they told in that book. You can have one cow, and if you want milk, you can keep on milking that cow day in, day out, but eventually the cow will run out of milk. And the metaphor behind it was, don't milk out the last inch of that cow. No, just try to spread and try to create more assets, more cows. Because if you want, let's say, 200 liters, you can't take it out in one day out of one cow. However, if you have 5 cows or 10 cows, I'm sure 10 cows will produce 20 liters on average a day. And that's something which is good and it's in balance. And now, with the creation of assets, you create balance in your life. So the importance of creating assets and starting as early as possible on it is crucial if you want to liberate time in the future. If you want to grow your income, then you must be able to build on something. If you build a good fundamental thing and you can build on it, it can get higher and higher. However, if you build like this, a job for example, there's nothing wrong with a job by the way, but it's just one income stream. And if you create certain assets, video marketing, real estate, a business asset, something that produces money over and over and over again, a certain online course, an online mentoring, the more assets you create, the more incomes you create, the more terms you got to negotiate and to choose where you want to put your time and energy in. And keep that in mind. It's all about creating assets upon assets upon assets. And after a while, if today you can talk about something you're passionate about, first of all, it gives energy. Secondly, it's very nice and fun to create assets. But we don't know if we like this same assets in 5 years or 10 years from now. Now, if you do this all correctly, the assets you produce today will still generate something in 5 or 10 years from now. And that's why you can build well, because you can build on the past. And this means if you look in the future, you always can move on and time will be in your advantage. Now, never forget, it's very nice to focus your goals, to look in the future, but remember to live today and enjoy every moment of it. I'll see you in the next video.